You're welcome here. This is Dr. Abimbola Onifade, and in this lesson, I'll be addressing the topic diabetes and hypertension antidotes. And let's start by stating some parameters. A person is said to have prediabetes if the fasting blood sugar is between 100 to 125 milligram per dl, or 5.5 to 6.9 millimole per liter, and that's on at least 2 different occasions. And a person is said to be diabetic if fasting blood sugar is greater than 126 milligram per dl or 7 millimole per liter on at least 2 different occasions as well. So that's for diabetes, prediabetes, and diabetes. Prediabetes is equally dangerous, and for elevated regarding hypertension now. The blood pressure of 120 to 129 millimeter of mercury, that's systolic blood pressure of 120 to 129 millimeter of mercury, and diastolic of less than 80 milligram, in this case is regarded as elevated blood pressure. So long as it is between 120, especially 121 to 129, more than 120 to 129 is regarded as hypertensive, as elevated blood pressure, even if the diastolic is less than 80 millimeter of mercury. The one on the top is what is called systolic, while the one that is down is called diastolic. And the same again for stage 1 hypertension. The one on top, which is systolic, is 130 to 139 millimeter of mercury, and then the diastolic, the one below, will be between 80 to 89 millimeter of mercury. While stage 2 hypertension is systolic blood pressure greater or equals to 140 millimeter of mercury, and diastolic blood pressure of greater or equals to 90 millimeter of mercury. Usually, stage elevated blood pressure and stage 1 hypertension is not usually managed with medication, and the doctor will prescribe dietary changes and lifestyle modification for you, and except in some instances when there are some other risk factors. That is when conventionally we might decide to manage the patient with medication at this point in time, while from stage 2 it becomes a concern, and then that's where pharmacological therapy comes in. That's the conventional approach. Now, the real antidote to diabetes and hypertension is not medication, and that's the aim of this program. The real antidote for diabetes and hypertension is actually diet and lifestyle changes. So until you get this right, you will move in cycle of endless frustration. You can change from one drugs to the other, but until you fix these diet and lifestyle changes, and it's so powerful that these two things that I've stated there are actually enough to get you off medication. That doesn't depend on when you have been on the medication. Of course, when I'm saying that it will get you off medication, I'm not saying that you stop your medication abruptly, then you begin to apply this and you say, okay, there's a doctor somewhere that says what we need is not medication, what we need is just to do diet and lifestyle changes. That's not what I'm talking about. But there are some problems that have happened and that is within you that is causing diabetes and that is causing hypertension. Once you give your body the right condition, this problem will be resolved. And once this problem is being resolved, gradually you will need less medication until you don't need medication at all. In every medical literature and in every conventional settings, it is agreed that diet and lifestyle changes plays a remarkable role in you managing diabetes or hypertension. The only thing we have not understand, or we have not fully understand and agreed to, is that diet and lifestyle changes is even enough on a long run to completely deal with this problem, such that you don't even need a medication again. But as I said, this is a process. It is not what you assume or what you just do on your own. This is what must be done with the supervision of a medical doctor, especially if you're already on medication. Now, there are two things to this. Someone can be diagnosed now, probably you have elevated blood pressure. Some could be on the roof. Now, I've had different patients, and what they say, especially when they hear that, okay, if you're on medication, you need the assistance of a doctor, diet and lifestyle changes can fix things, and they're like, okay, I don't even want to start medication at all. I just want to do what you are saying. Now, you must take your decision by the assistance and by the support of a qualified physician, a medical doctor. That will guide you, and once your doctor says that you should take medication, you can start the medication, and don't assume that when you start medication you will ever be on the medication. Now, I'm not saying this based on me alone. I'm saying it based on anybody that practices medicine as a doctor. There are times that your doctor will take you off medication. If doctor sees that this medication, that your blood pressure is well controlled, it will reduce your medication if it evaluates that it can be dangerous for you to be on that medication. So this thing that I've been talking about for some time now, more than a year now, and so many people have been jumping at this and they are getting results, and so many people are negative because in this part of the world, when we don't understand something, instead of us to study it, we attack it. This is not strange at all. The only thing is that probably your doctor is so busy, or possibly your doctor might not understand it fully well, which is not his fault, to guide you on this part. So if you have the opportunity to meet, to get this information, and I think you should take it with both ends, and not to just be nasty in comments and just be nasty in attitude for what you don't even understand at all. Whatever you don't understand, you're supposed to study and not to be garrulous with your utterance about it. So, in any medical settings and on any medical ground, we recommend diet and lifestyle changes. The only thing is that most of the time, the dietary changes that we recommend are not appropriate. The dietary changes, the answer is in dietary and lifestyle changes, but most of the time, the dietary changes we recommend is actually like the same thing that is causing the problem. We just want to reduce sometimes what is causing the problem, and the person you have told to reduce it does not even have enough energy to reduce it. And then those who go and make some lifestyle changes like being physically active, exercise and the rest, they get results. They might be better, but at this point they've been able to understand the right dietary approach, like you will discover in this program. They would not have only gotten better as a result of benefits from lifestyle changes. They would have been able to reverse either the diabetes or the hypertension completely. It can take some time. It will take some time, but that is what the result will be. And the drug can then be a temporary messenger to prevent some damage while you are making dietary changes and lifestyle changes, and your body is healing itself naturally. So now, I've talked about bariatric surgery in another video, and this is a surgery that is used especially in obese patients to deal with obesity and diabetes as it is now. And the bariatric surgery it actually helps the patient to lose weight. Really, it does help, and also helps the patient to send the diabetes into remission. Now, this is not what I make up. This, if you type this on the internet now, you will see this by yourself. So you can go ahead and try and check that out. That is what it means to be educated. That is what it means to want to learn. That is what it means to open your mind and stop staying in darkness thinking you know what you don't know. If you come across this now, what you should do, if you have any doubt, go and research on this. That is it true that bariatric surgery is used in curing diabetes? If the bariatric surgery has been used for several decades in curing diabetes, so why do we say there is no cure for diabetes at all? Then what we want to do now, I said, why does bariatric surgery lead to cure in diabetes? If we know the reason why it leads to cure, then we will understand that we don't even need bariatric surgery to be able to reverse diabetes. Because what we just do is that we apply the principle that helps in bariatric surgery, and we'll be able to achieve this. And I will tell you why bariatric surgery fails sometimes after as well. So I've said this in a video as well, that this is likely due to the effect of gastric inhibitory polypeptide. This is not the only reason, but this is a major contributory reason. But my own interest about this is not even about the gastric inhibitory polypeptide. Now, its main role is to stimulate insulin secretion. In bariatric surgery, part of the stomach is cut away, and the action of this gastric inhibitory polypeptide is altered. As a result, it will not be able to stimulate insulin secretion again. Now, in diabetes, one of the main problems is that there is overproduction of insulin. Once there is overproduction of insulin, then insulin resistance sets in. Once insulin resistance sets in, then the blood sugar will back up in the blood, and you are diagnosed of being diabetic. But once the gastric inhibitory polypeptide have been dealt with, part of the problem, which is insulin oversecretion, is already dealt with. And this is a major part of the problem. As a result, even before the patient begins to lose weight, the diabetes begin to improve and go into remission. So this is not just because the patient lost weight. This is because there are some hormonal interactions, even beyond this gastric inhibitory polypeptide, that has been dealt with and that has been changed and been aligned, and as a result, the diabetes is going into remission. And at this point, this, as an educated mind, what we should think about is, if this is the case, how can we mimic this effect without even going through surgery? And that is what this program is all about. And hundreds of people have taken this serious, and they have the results. You go to our Facebook group. I'll leave the link down. If you're watching on YouTube or on the website, join the group and see those who have applied this and see how it has improved their health. Instead of being a pessimist, that is what you should do to check it out. I'm sorry if I'm going hard, and this is definitely not for everybody, but oh my god, there are so many people that are too negative, and they don't even give a chance to what can impact their life, to listen and to reflect and try it out. So that is it. This is one of the main reasons, the action of GIP, that is altered than some other gut hormone. So then why does bariatric surgery later fail in some cases? Now, let me explain what happens in bariatric surgery. The size of the stomach is reduced, and so that the patient will not need to eat too much. When you are not eating too much, you lose weight naturally. That was the original intention, until patients begin to see improvement in their blood sugar reading, for instance, even before they lost weight. And that would then show that, oh, this is not just about weight. That was when the hormonal effect that I just discussed was discovered. So that's definitely helped temporarily. And besides, bariatric surgery also have been found to be very helpful in people with hypertension. Some were able to resolve hypertension as well as a result of this. It might not be as a result of the hormone that I just explained. It might be, and definitely it has a contributory role, because insulin resistance also have contributory role to diabetes as well. So but why does surgery later fail in some cases? Because it's covered in some cases, and the patient begin to gain all the weight back, and then before you know it, the patient begin to the parameter that have improved before fails again. Now, this is the reason here that I'm showing you. Insulin, ghrelin, polypeptide YY, and cholecystokinin. All of these are hormones that are crucial when we talk about diabetes and so many other problems. I'm not going to go into details on this, because you might not even need it. But now, the main issue is insulin. Remember, I talked about the aspect of GIP being altered, and but gastric intestinal polypeptide is not the only hormone that is implicated in the action of insulin secretion. So other hormone will still have their effect as well. Insulin is the main problem in type 2 diabetes. There is overproduction of insulin, and there is insulin resistance as well, which is leading to diabetes on its own. Now, I've explained all this mechanism in another video as well. The links will be down for you to go through. Then, ghrelin is your hunger hormone. Why peptide? Why and cholecystokinin as satiety hormone? There are so many other hormones that are involved, but these are very crucial as well. Now, when you do gastric bypass, like a bariatric surgery, now you have dealt with one aspect. You have not really dealt with peptide YY or cholecystokinin. Sorry, you have not really dealt with ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone. I think I missed the spelling of this ghrelin, but that's all right. Which is the hunger hormone, and you have not enhanced the action of this peptide YY and cholecystokinin, and we are going to be enhancing this action through the dietary guide I will be giving you when you join the premium program. So this is exactly what solves the problem. So before you know it, the satiety hormone have not been able to do their work properly. The patient, in a little while, even though they have reduced the stomach, the satiety level is very bad. The patient's still ravenous on food, and it causes problem. But beyond that, it is not really because anything has changed. The reason is because the patient is still feeding on the wrong diet. So even bariatric surgery will fail on a wrong run if you still do not take care of the dietary aspect. Now, you need to eat foods that will enhance the function of peptide YY and cholecystokinin. They are the satiety hormone. They keep you satisfied, and as a result of this, insulin is not stimulated as it is when you allow ghrelin to go on the rampage. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but you should. So when we deal with this problem of hunger hormone, which is the ghrelin, by going through and including in our meal guide, in our meal plan, foods that keeps the action of ghrelin at bay, those foods will enhance the action of peptide YY and cholecystokinin. Once this is done, the overall impact is on your insulin, and as a result, the problem of insulin resistance is being dealt with gradually, and as a result, the patient automatically begins to lose weight if you need to lose weight, and the patient begins to need less medication either for diabetes or for hypertension, and as a result, the patient's condition improves and drugs begin to fall off one after the other. So that is the crucial thing. That is the crucial reason why bariatric surgery fails in some cases. And the truth is, you don't need bariatric surgery for anything regarding to deal with diabetes, even though it can be used. You don't need that. You might not even be qualified, be allowed to go for that, because there are criteria that you must meet. So, but we can achieve more than can be achieved through bariatric surgery if we understand the role of this crucial hormone, and if we deal with it through dietary approach, which would have been a better alternative than going for the bariatric surgery in the first place. Now, let me say at this point that this is understood and this is used in different parts of the world. It is not popular. Even in any Western country where some doctors have deep insight and they are putting this into practice, they still have people that criticizes them. So it's everywhere. The attack could be everywhere, but our own environment is just more severe. That's it. So put yourself in this and understand this, and until you resolve this problem and do what I'm telling you, you will be on your medication. You can use all the patch in this world, you can take all the herbs, you can take all the supplements, except there is a miracle from God himself, because I know that there is nothing God cannot do. But even if God gives you a miracle, this is what you still need to sustain that miracle. If you don't sustain it with this, you will be back to where you are coming from, because this on its own is even a bigger miracle. The biggest miracle is in principle. Now, I want to quickly talk about the good and the bad side of medication, because most of the people that comes on my program, the first thing they want to say is that, okay, now I want to stop the medication. They don't even want you to guide them to stop it. They just believe, okay, you have said that this is possible. I believe you, doctor. I want to stop the medication. So you need to understand the good and the bad side of medication. The overall goal is to be able to stop this medication. But this is not what will be done abruptly. This is not what will be done unreasonably. This is what will be done with the guidance of your doctor, or if you want us to guide you. The pros to this, let's talk about antidiabetic medication. Now, it is useful in the sense that it helps in preventing medical emergency like DKA. In this, the blood sugar goes haywire, up to 500. So if you don't treat diabetes, you know the symptom of diabetes, you'll be so symptomatic, you'll be peeing, you'll be thirsty, you'll be losing weight. That will be happening. And as that is happening, you'll get to a point, if pharmacological treatment is not instituted, that you have a diabetic emergency, and as a result you can go unconscious, and even many people have died through this. Now, if you catch it before it weighs you down, you can follow the dietary principle, and you will not even need medication. You'll be able to deal with it and reverse it. But if it has gotten to a certain extent, the wise thing to do is get treated, stabilize yourself, and after that, this is the way to get off the medication that you might be placed on. Then I said that the pros for it is that it delays progression. I put it in quote because it doesn't really delay early progression. Of course, it delays progression into death, it delays progression to going into diabetic emergency, but it is a slow release. It's killing you slowly. Because the truth is, you don't need medication to deal with type 2 diabetes. What you need is to fix the diet and to lifestyle changes. Medication isn't going to make you better when you have diabetes. I'm talking about diabetes now, not hypertension. Medication wouldn't make you better. Medication will take the sugar from the blood and forces it into different parts of the body where the body does not need it and where the body does not want it. And when this happens, that's why you discover that the patient's legs need to be amputated, because blood is forced into the wrong place, the nerve is damaged, you have neuropathy, you are feeling like something is biting you under your leg is hot, you are feeling that complication. Then what else again? Your eyes, you have retinopathy, which is one of the leading causes of blindness, irreversible blindness. Then what again? So many things. So that is the kidney rot, the liver, everything diabetes can affect. So if your medication, it is not improving. That's why diabetes is defined as chronic and progressive disease. But I beg to disagree. This can be reversed, and you don't need to be on medication forever. Diabetes is so easy. It's extremely easy. It's so easy that I really prefer to run program on diabetes alone and leave hypertension out. But sometimes I just felt like I'll be disenfranchising some people from having a chance of dealing with their condition if I leave hypertension out totally. So now on antihypertensive, treating high blood pressure will help prevent so many problems such as heart disease, stroke, loss of eyesight, chronic kidney disease, and other blood vessels diseases. If you did not treat high blood pressure and it gets to a level, you can get stroke. So that is why medication is not bad. This is the pros to it. The thing is, you come on a program, diet and lifestyle changes like this, like I've been saying, while you still take medication, before you know it, you will need fewer medications. Before you know it, you don't even need any medication at all. And then this takes some time. I've seen patients that comes on this program within 2 weeks, they were off every diabetic medication. Some are off hypertension medication. Yes, within 2 weeks. But that is not typical of every patient. And that's why I used to tell people to at least be patient for 1 to 3 months to see significant improvement. By 1 month, up to 50% and more would have reduced the drug by up to half or more. Or at least if your blood sugar was haywire before, you'd have gotten it to normal on your medication. In 1 to 3 months, more than 50% of the people will be off medication completely for diabetes. Then in another 3 to 6 months, more than 90% will be off medication completely. Then the remaining percentage, after they would have seen significant improvement. They would have been off most of their medications too, and before you know it, they continue on the principle, and in a short while they are off their medication completely. That is the truth about diabetes. Regarding hypertension, I've observed this as well. Like I said, some people, if you go to our WhatsApp group now, you'll see comments of people that are off antihypertensive now. I didn't tell them even to stop it. It's their doctor that told some of them to stop it. They'll go to hospital, they'll check them, and they'll discover that they don't need it again. So, and they are off this drug. So, for hypertension, then the problem in hypertension is a little different, and sometimes it takes a little longer time to really deal with it. Weight problem is part of it. If you are obese or you are overweight, you have a good chance of getting off medication, but the weight must come down gradually. Then inflammation is part of it. If the inflammation has been so bad, as you come on the diet, the inflammation will be getting resolved. You begin to see improvements in your blood pressure, and before you know it, you are able to resolve the problem of inflammation. And you must be ready for the statistics I've given as well. You see the overall impact of this kind of a program, especially if you are going to be patient for at least 1 to 6 months. And really, you are still eating as you're supposed to eat. You will eat, you will be filled. Nigerian diet or Mediterranean diet, Western diet, whatever you have, you can go on that and you'll be filled. It is not a problem. The only thing is that you have decided to become more physically active, to exercise, and to go on the right diet, as I'll be showing you, and we'll be preparing a meal plan for this. But the crucial thing is patience. So the con to this is that there are side effects to drugs. Some antihypertensive cause a lot of discomforting side effects. Even constitutional symptoms, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headache, all of that can be a side effect. Some could even have something like erectile dysfunction, so many other side effects. Psychological effect as well, that you'll be on medication for the rest of your life. It is sickening. And this is not true. You don't have to be on the medication for the rest of your life. Then as well, the drugs can fail. Then you need more drugs and more drugs. And then the cost again that you use in buying drugs at every time. So these are the cons to it. But the good news is that there is a solution to it, as I've mentioned, and you can deal with it. Now, I want to tell you the truth, my sincere advice on drug and type 2 diabetes, although I've said it along the line. The sincere advice I have for you, and this is straight from my heart. If you have type 2 diabetes and you give this program a try, I tell you, you will resolve the problem of type 2 diabetes. So long as you are going to be disciplined and you are ready. I don't have one single doubt, one iota of doubt. I don't have a small doubt on this. You will resolve this problem of type 2 diabetes if you can just come in. Type 2 diabetes does not need drug. If you are on drug for type 2 diabetes, it should be a temporary measure. And within a short period of time, you'll be off it completely. There are many authorities that knows it, and I'm not talking about in Nigeria. But for some reasons, political reasons, economical reasons is part of it. That's why this truth is not well agreed on and well documented and recommended. So this is the truth. You can decide to take the advice. You might decide not to take the advice. But if you really want solution to your problem, you jump into this program. On this type 2 diabetes, I can even say, if it doesn't work for you, I will refund you your money 100-fold. That's how sure I am about it. And then just go join our Facebook group. Even if you are not interested in group, go and see what people are saying on the group and the impact this program is having on them. Now, the way out, like I've been saying, is diet and lifestyle changes. Now, I talked about safe, smart food to get your health back. I'll leave the link in this YouTube. Just press the arrow that points down, or the learn more button, where you can use to check more information or ask if you don't know how to do that. There is another video there that says that the topic is safe, smart food. That safe, smart food to get your head back. I've developed a model in helping people get off medical problems and through safe and smart foods. And this is, I group food into type A, B, C, and the type C is actually, that's the therapeutic food. I developed this model after working with at least 5,000 patients directly, and most of them are diabetic and hypertensive patients. So you just do yourself good, make sure you watch that video. Even if you don't want to join this program, I talk about food that you're supposed to limit to eliminate, and I talked about some things that you will gain from without even joining this program, and that it will help you. So why current management approach has been failing for diabetes? We have been focusing on the symptom, which is high blood sugar, not the problem. We have been dealing with high blood sugar, ignoring high blood insulin. We have been dealing with high blood sugar and ignoring insulin resistance. For hypertension, we have failed to realize the role of insulin resistance in primary hypertension. We have failed to realize the role of inflammation in hypertension, and we have failed to realize the role of food sensitivity in primary hypertension. Food sensitivity simply means there are some foods that you are going on that is causing inflammation in your body, and as a result will keep you sick until you deal with it, and some are peculiar for diabetes and for hypertension as well. So you need to understand this and deal with this once and for all. So that's why the current approach is failing, and this is what I know, and this is what I do to take people off medication and to help them as well. Everybody agrees that lifestyle changes are crucial, but many times when we tell people to observe lifestyle changes, neither the person prescribing it nor the person being told really understand what they are saying. So they just say it, diet, lifestyle changes, but they really don't understand what is supposed to be recommended and prescribed. Secondly, because they do not fully understand how powerful dietary and lifestyle change is and what it entails. They do not understand that when properly executed and monitored, dietary and lifestyle changes is enough in overwhelming majority. So what does an overwhelming majority is? If 100% of people come on the program and they get significantly better, and possibly at the end of the day they only need the lowest dose of the safest drug, that is remarkable, and that is the least anybody joining this program should expect. But at the same time, if more than 90% of people with a problem did not only get significantly better, but they are able to solve the problem such that they don't need medication again, of course, that is powerful, and that is just beyond imagination for a problem that has ravaged the whole world for so long a time. And that has been the experience I have with people that have been on my premium programs, and even sometimes when we offer free programs. So the self-smart food to get your head back is the next topic you must endeavor to listen to. Please watch the lesson, then go to www.smartmedicalprograms.com/premium to join us on /premium to know how to join this program. It will entail a very, very affordable sum of money from you, and then you'll be able to join this program and join our Facebook group to see how the program has been helping people. This will save you the cost you have been spending on medication, and you are going to even be paying less than what you have been spending on medication for the premium program. So please make sure you watch that Safe Smart Food to get your head back, and make sure you endeavor to join the premium program. If you are watching this video on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Just click on the red subscribe button and click on the bell that comes after it, and you'll be able to see every video I release that will be for free for you to watch all these videos. And main highlight of the premium program includes the meal plan and professional support. And these two words are crucial and deeper than it might sound. I want to thank you for taking our time to watch this. Thank you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the inside. I want to see you in the premium program. I want you to make sure you watch the video Safe Smart Food to get your head back, even if you don't plan to join the premium program. Thank you.